Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here and welcome to another review. And now I'm taking a look at Pro Skateboard Simulator for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Released in 1989 by Codemasters. It's another their famous simulator titles like Pro Ski Simulator, which I've already reviewed previously. So I'm going to just set it so I do a keyboard control. And the keys are fixed. There's ZX, OK and P for rotate to left, rotate to right, OK, a boost and stop/spin, or basically accelerate and brake, and P is jump. So let's get this going. Now, when I've just this moment seen YouTuber 8-Bit Rach review the Amstrad CPC version, and did I really just fall in a puddle there? And from what I can make out, it seems as if that version was by and large a Spectrum port. Oh god, I only have one more flag to get. But one thing I have noticed is that in the version she was playing, you don't visibly see your skateboarder kick. Are you doing this? So I don't know why they missed out that animation. Look very carefully at his back foot. You can actually see it moving. When I was looking at footage from her review on the Amstrad, there was no such animation at all. Come on, get up there. Yeah, he did it that time. So what you're doing is collecting all the flags before the time limit in the top right corner runs out. Oh, for God's sake. The controls are a bit slippery in this bit. Oh dear, the controls are very slippery here. Now, one thing I noticed in her review is that even on the CPC version, this bit was monochrome. It had blatant Spectrum port written all over it. Now, I only knew to go left there because of the footage that I saw from her review. Otherwise, I would have crashed straight into those trees. That's very poor design. I like the way you can press. Oops. I like the way you can press the button and it will instantly just do a 180. Oh, for God's sake. Why are there so many puddles there? And how come you can fall in puddles anyway? Is this supposed to be Dawn French's character from The Vicar of Dibley or something? Because there's a famous episode in which she actually sinks in a puddle in that series. Very funny moment, but it's not funny here. Ugh! Oh, shut up, I barely even touched that. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I've got to do this cyclic nonsense to key my name. Why can't I just type it? I've got a keyboard. Let's give that another whirl. It's worth pointing out this is the 48K version. The 128K version actually has in-game music. But otherwise seems to be much the same in content. I mean, it controls as well as can be expected, save for this bit where the controls are incredibly slippery and floaty. Oh! I mean, the momentum and inertia in that bit is ridiculous. Oh, God. Yeah, you have to manually do an ollie, or that's what they call a jump in skateboarding. And I mean, by and large, it's playable enough. It's just that it's a bit unfair and frustrating at times, especially when you get to this bit where you've got very tight time limit and all sorts of different obstacles. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, shut your face. Give me a chance. Yeah, you have to, in order to get your speed up, you have to mash the button a bit like you did in Pro Ski Simulator. The main difference is in Pro Skateboard Simulator, which we're playing here, that actually makes sense, because to go faster initially, you would have to do that. Oh, God. No. Come on, let me do this. Thank you. Oh, another moment of slippery controls. Why have people... Oh, damn it. Oh, I see it. Because it's on a slope, I'm sliding off. Whoa, that's mean. Oh, oh, why are there all these tiny little stones everywhere? I mean, didn't the health and safety inspectors double check this course before doing all this? Oh, God. No, damn it. The time... Move. Oh, because I missed that flag. Oh, damn it, I miskeyed it. Why can't I just type this and not have that faff? So that's Professional Skateboard Simulator, or Pro Skateboard Simulator, for the ZX Spectrum. As I said, this is the 48K version. There is a 128K version that has in-game music and also has music on this menu screen. But from what I can make out, it's otherwise the same. Graphics are quite nice. Fairly basic animation, but it is an 8-bit computer with only 48 kilobytes of RAM. Monochrome, which is pretty much compulsory for these isometric view games on the Spectrum because of, as ever, its attribute problem. And there's a noticeable nice little touches, like the skateboarder's foot going down on the ground to push himself forwards when you press the boost button, which is effectively up on the joystick, or the up control, which is on the keyboard, which in this case is O. And that stop spin, you just press down on the joystick or press the K button. So that seems to work fine, and it uses the same sort of rotational aspect as the Spectrum version of 720 degrees did, and it worked well in that, and it works well in this. I just saw Mark Rivers as one of the in the credits just then. He did that horrible SAS Operation Thunderflash. But put it this way, despite this game's flaws, I'd much rather play this than that. Yeah, coding Mark Rivers. I'm sure that's the same Mark Rivers that did SAS Operation Thunderflash, which I absolutely ripped into in my review of that. At least this is playable. That wasn't. But back to Professional Skateboard Simulator. Sound. It's a bit sparse, but again, it's 48K Spectrum. You get the sound effects when you crash or splash or otherwise wipe out, and that's otherwise it's very minimal. But then I'm not going to be too mean about that, because the Spectrum 48K was not renowned for having brilliant sound. I mean, it didn't even have a proper sound chip. That had to wait for the 128K Spectrum, as I said in previous reviews. The scrolling's smooth as well, so I can't complain about that. I mean, admittedly, the scrolling of the Codemasters logo on this menu option's a little bit on iffy side, but the actual in-game scrolling's fine. Gameplay. Well, as I said, by and large, it plays well enough. It's just it's a little bit frustrating. I mean, you fall into these. You can actually fall into these tiny little puddles with an almighty splash, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense. Now, if it was a great big puddle or a lake or something like that, I'd understand that. But it's obviously a tiny little puddle, which I don't think it'd even come up to his waist, if that. And even though the actual pushing to get yourself going is more accurate to the real deal than it is in Pro Ski Simulator, you still wouldn't have to push as much as this game makes you do in order to keep your speed up. So that too does put the simulator aspect into a bit of doubt, let's say. As does the idea of having all these rocks and puddles and the like all over the course, like the way it does. I'm pretty sure that there'd be a lot of lawsuits going around if there are lots of injuries over such things. And I'm not too keen on the control system on the vertically scrolling bits. By comparison, I find those controls to be incredibly floaty and overzealous momentum and inertia by comparison to the 3D isometric bits. And the fact that you can't see far enough ahead of you. So, as you saw, there was that bit where I had to go left to avoid getting caught in a dead end with all those trees. That's not very good level design. I mean, that's also not very good at simulation, because if you're in real life, you'd actually be able to see that you couldn't go into that area because they'd see them far ahead of you before you got anywhere near them, which is obviously not the case here, because you don't know that until you're actually practically on top of those trees. So while this is better than Professional Ski Simulator, it's still not great. So I'm going to give this 6 out of 10. By and large, it plays well enough in the isometric sections, but the controls in the overhead cross-country sections let it down quite badly, as does the somewhat bad level design. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Catch you on another video soon. Texie88 out.